So, picture this. It's 2026, and a team of AI researchers stumbles upon a collection of digital files, scattered all over the place. But when they piece them together, they tell a story so bizarre it seems to bend the very rules of time itself. Today, we're diving deep and unpacking the enigma of a man, or maybe a myth, known only as Benedictus monk.
And the story throws us right into the deep end. This is the very first line they found, from a file dated 1993. No introduction, no explanation. Just this urgent, disembodied warning that yanks both us and Benedictus right into a world of immediate danger.
And yeah, these files weren't just sitting in a neat folder labeled top secret. They were intentionally broken up, hidden, mislabeled. It's like someone wanted the story to be found, but only by people who are willing to really look. And at the center of this digital scavenger hunt was one document that was, well, flat out impossible.
So what was this impossible discovery that sent everyone into a tailspin? It was a paradox, a piece of paper that, according to our understanding of history, simply should not exist.
Okay, so the heart of the entire mystery is this: a title page from a doctoral thesis. The date? 1965. The author? Benedictus Armilius Monk. And the topic? Morphic fields and morphic resonance as a means of describing the time loop. And the Mobius protocol. I mean, for 1965, those words aren't just advanced, they're straight out of science fiction.
Now, to really get why this is so nuts, you have to understand what morphic resonance even is. It's this theory that nature, on a cosmic scale, has a kind of collective memory, that patterns of behavior can be passed down through time and space without any physical connection. It's a wild idea, right? But here's the kicker. The biologist Rupert Sheldrake didn't even formally propose until 1981. And this timeline just lays the whole paradox out, plain as day. Sure, the general idea of these fields existed way back in 1910. But Benedictus monk uses the specific term morphic resonance a full 16 years before it was supposedly invented. And then he connects it to a time loop and a Mobius protocol, concepts that, according to the researcher's own timeline, weren't proven to be real until 2024. So you gotta ask, how on earth did he know? As the researchers kept digging, the whole mystery kind of shifted. It went from a scientific puzzle to something that feels a lot more like a supernatural thriller, because deep in the files, they found a warning, sent from somewhere inside that time loop.
This message comes from a character Benedictus himself calls the Mysterious Gypsy. She's not even real. She appears to him as this ominous hologram, and she can apparently find him anywhere, anytime, inside this time loop to give him these cryptic messages.
But this warning is just bizarre. Even Benedictus is thrown for a loop. She's talking about the Norsemen, about Odin, about some kind of contract. Benedictus is completely bewildered by it. He's apparently convinced he has a legitimate Norse bloodline, so this whole false claim thing makes absolutely no sense to him. All of a sudden, we've got this whole layer of mythology thrown on top of our sci-fi puzzle. And this brings us to the question that just hangs over everything in these files. What are the time loop and the Mobius protocol? Are they actual, real-world physics? Are they metaphors for something else? Or are they the framework for some kind of secret war being fought across time? The documents never spell it out, leaving us with just the clues Monk himself leaves behind. So how does Monk react to this warning from the Gypsy? Well, not directly. Instead, he hides his responses inside these incredibly complex riddles, weaving his messages through language, chemistry, and even nuclear physics. Okay, get ready for this, because his first riddle is just a masterclass in how to hide a message. He starts with alpha and omega, and just layers meaning on top of meaning. He's pulling out Hebrew letters, using the number of letters in words to point to chemical compounds. I mean, the whole process is mind-bending. And the final message he extracts? Biblios ace. It's so dense it has to be a coded message for someone with a very specific key. But wait, there's more. Hidden inside that exact same phrase is another secret layer. Just using a simple A equals 1, B equals 2 code, the numbers 38 and 41 pop out. And Monk explicitly connects these to two critical years in nuclear physics: 1938, when nuclear fission was discovered, and 1941, when plutonium was first created. The guy is literally embedding the history of the atomic bomb in his riddle.
You think that was weird? Well, the second riddle is just as out there. This time, he seems to be pulling letters from song titles by the heavy metal band Dio. First, he pulls out the phrase Dio key, and then he just collects this jumble of other letters that we're supposed to unscramble.
So what do you get when you unscramble that mess of letters? Well, of course, it's another anagram. The solution is either tiara key or riata key. It's another coded message, another key meant for some unknown lock. The sheer complexity here just suggests we're dealing with a mind that operates on a totally different level.
Okay, so this begs the question, right? Why all the secrecy? Why the riddles and the coded warnings? The files suggest that this is all part of a conflict over a broken contract, a very personal and very strange conflict.
The going theory from the researchers is that these riddles are his comeback. Someone or something managed to get a message to Monk inside his time loop, calling him out, challenging his heritage, and reminding him of some pact he supposedly made with Odin. But Monk's response isn't fear, it's defiance.
And you can hear that defiance in his own words. This is what he writes. He's not denying the contract is real, no. He's saying they broke it first, and because of that, he's free. He's done being bound by their rules. I mean, think about it. This is him declaring his independence from the gods themselves. So you take all of this, the impossible science, the time loops, the holographic warnings, the broken deals with ancient gods, and it all boils down to one massive, unanswered question.
Is he a time traveler? A physicist who went too far? A man who's lost his mind? Or something else entirely? The researchers who found the files, well, they basically landed on two competing theories.
Theory number one is that Benedictus Monk is exactly who he seems to be, a real person, a single, brilliant mind caught in this incredible struggle. But the second theory, which comes from other file fragments, is that Benedictus Monk isn't a person at all. It's a pseudonym, a symbol or a mantle passed between members of some rebel group called the Aneurysmics. In that version, anyone could be Monk.
And that, right there, is where the trail goes cold. The files just stop. We're left with all these incredible pieces, but no final picture. So what are we looking at? The diary of a brilliant but delusional academic? A legitimate warning sent from another timeline? Or the sacred texts of a secret war being fought just under the surface of our own reality? The only thing the files make clear is that whatever the truth is, the enigma of Benedictus Monk is far from over.